All right. So we're going to check out and see how much some of your finds are in the Pocket Change Market Report, this time for March 15th, 2023. This is the halfway point report, if you want to call it that as well. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Always a pleasure delivering this report to you guys twice a week. And I would say that, the market continues to forge forward, all right? Some of the lower end errors and varieties, I'd say have kind of come down a little bit. They're not selling for nearly as much, but you could still get a decent amount of money for them if you wanted to do that. I know some people are like, the $5 and less coins, are... it's just you sell them and you don't feel as good about selling them unless your motivation is to build up your eBay store. Then selling those will be paramount to that success. But anyways, we're going to check out some of the coins that people like you and I have found out there, just kind of rifling through change, cracking open some of those fresh bankrolls, or perhaps you're the type of person that likes to cherry pick the local coin shops and the coin shows as well. Great way to supplement your collection at a very affordable price, if not face value, then very cheap. Or it's a good way to kind of supplement your income as well. I know a lot of people that do this for a living and have made it their primary source of income. So that means they're doing really well at it. A few little housekeeping items. We don't talk about graded coins because it's an unneeded expense out there. I know PCGS normally charges like $60 for coins, error coins that is, that are worth more than $300. They do have an economy version, but it's still a little bit pricey at about $30. And those coins have a cap value-wise of $300. So that's something that they've implemented on their website. Again, not necessary. A lot of these coins speak for themselves and they will sell for whatever the market commands for them. And second of all, and you're going to see this very evident in this week's report, all of the photos are original to the seller's listings. So you're going to get the best and the worst images, bar none. And there are a few very marginal photos, and I'm kind of like, well, how did this thing even sell with these photos? So you'll get a little bit of a photography lesson as well in preparation for your sales. So as you guys know, I'm starting to do coin auctions, and I'm using the platform Whatnot. You can either download it on your phone as an app or use the PC version, although the app version has a few extra perks, like you could take part in the giveaways, and we got more giveaways coming up this Friday when I do the Around the Globe coin auction. It's exactly like it sounds. It's going to be geared more toward world coins. A lot of great stuff, a lot of old, early, very popular world coinage. Lots of silver, and have no worry, because the United States is a country of this world. Crazy, huh? So you're going to see some U.S. coinage in the mix as well. Stay tuned for the preview video this evening, Wednesday night, March 15th. I will drop that around 6-7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so it'll be a little bit late for a few of you. But nonetheless, the actual sale will be, or the auction that is going to be this coming Friday, March 17th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we also have another show on March 22nd, which is going to be focused primarily on U.S. type coinage, a very, very popular show in itself. So stay tuned for that. A couple back-to-back hitters, and I will have the links down below. The link to my referral link. If you haven't signed up for the platform, you could score yourself $15 in credit by using my referral link. I will have that pinned in the comments as well. But I'll also have the link to the upcoming auction this Friday. So go there, bookmark it if you're joined up on the platform, and let's enjoy some good times. The first few Whatnot coin auctions has been nothing less than extraordinary. And a lot of people have been scoring some pretty good deals. And we also have quite a bit of really nice stuff on the Whatnot Buy It Now store. So you can go in there right now and buy some stuff if you inclined to do so, and use that $15 credit to your advantage. All right, let's go ahead and jump in and see what we have here from eBay. All sales are from about the last 24 hours. Very action-packed, a lot of good stuff. Of course, you know, the one coin that some people are talking about in the community has to be the 2023 Lincoln cents that exhibit the VDB initials with the extra, what appears to be V right next to it. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is some sort of working hub damage that had translated over to the working dies, and then strikes up all of the Lincoln cents with that. It looks and appears to be like a perfect looking letter V, pretty close to what the actual type style is used on the initials at the base of the bust of Lincoln here. But these have been all the rage. People are still paying very handsomely for these. Like this one right here sold for $36.27 with 7 bids. From what I've seen in the marketplace, they're not particularly rare. Like you could come across these at any time. But if they're still selling for $40 to $60, I would certainly take advantage of this. And the big reason why, this kind of has the undertones of being a hot potato. The hot potato coins, you need to sell right away. The drooling die chip from last year on the Maya Angelou quarters that got everyone's attention was hot right out of the gate. They were selling for like $40, $50, sometimes $60. And then they cooled off significantly because everybody found out that these weren't particularly rare. So, again, we're seeing quite a few of these listings out right now. I don't see any indication of these being like an intentional engraving of an extra V for Victor David Brenner's initials. So I think this, again, is some sort of like die gouge damage on the working hub because it is incuse into that area there. Okay, so more of the normal stuff, I suppose. Here's the 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This thing, you know, guys, easy to overlook. Even I probably have overlooked something like this in one point in the past, but nothing really on the obverse other than a really well-used Lincoln cent. But when you turn it over on the back, check out the word 1 in 1 cent. That's a strike through. So there was something there. You know, it looks a little bit straight to be grease. It could be something else. A piece of wood, a piece of tape. It's kind of hard to say. It could very well be grease as well. Just a really straight swath of grease that was on that die. But overall, check out the condition of the coin. This is really nothing to write home to mother about. But you could sell something like this for a decent amount of money. Like this seller, they ended up retaining $9.30 in the sale for this coin. Again, it's very minor, but minor can be good when someone's an avid collector of this type of error. The next one that we have here, speaking of the devil, we got Maya Angelou. Well, of course, there's a buttload of stuff to look out for ever since the very beginning. From those die chips, you got the die scratch on the reverse, what they call the nesting eagle type, or variety, or whatever you want to call it. But about midway through last year, people were finding doubled dies, and there have been a number of fresh attributed double die listings on Variety Vista. All right, Dr. Wexler actually took care of that, and there are right now, I believe, 4 attributed doubled earrings on these. The VDDR number 1 and 2 are the most common out of the 4. If you're able to find 3 and 4, congrats. Those are actually doing really well in the market. But this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the VDDR number 2. So you have the doubled earring that is inside of the main featured earring on this one. And this one sold for $14. So not too bad. I mean, that's still a decent amount of money for this particular variety. And from what I've heard, they're actually quite common. The number 1s and number 2s, definitely keep an eye out for them. They seem to be selling really well. And if they're in really nice shape, they're going to do even better. All right, so this is one of the more weaker photographic images of this lot. And it's a shame, really, because we got really two very cool coins here. We have a 1969D and a 1980D, both Denver minted Lincoln Memorials, that are quite a bit off-center. The 69D looks to be about 75% off-center. The 1980 is about close enough there, maybe 70%. But they feature full dates and mint marks, and the coins are in really nice shape. From what I could see, they have mint red still on the coins, which, says a lot about the overall general condition. I don't see unsightly carbon spotting. These are, of course, pre-1982 bronze compositions. So, those carbon spots are very unsightly, and you do see those generally on the pre-1982 coinage. So could this two coin set have sold any better? Well, it did realize $52.25 with 12 bids. Might have squeaked out an extra $5 or $10. I'm really not sure. These are two relatively tough dates for this type of error, and from what we do know, people are collecting these by date. So if there's one particular date that is quite scarce, the community, those folks that collect these, will pay more money for a singular coin. So this is something you could buy and sell individually and hopefully double your money. Not sure if you could do that with this one, but I think you could still make a little something extra by reselling these. But above all else, these are two really nice dates to add to an off-center Lincoln collection. The next one that we have here, again, kind of like the talk of the town. All right, I'm like choking up trying to figure out what to say. But the 2023 Bessie Colemans, of course, are the first and only American women quarters that are out right now. The next one, I believe, comes out in a few weeks, maybe sooner. So that's coming up here very shortly. However, there's been quite a bit of stuff being found on this. We have seen the burning airplane strike through sell for $500, and that's from a close friend of the channel and the live coin Q&A group. Congratulations again to Joey for that wonderful sale, and hopefully there might be other ones like it as well out there in circulation. But this is, again, another coin to be on the lookout for. It's not gonna make you entirely excited to find one because of its value. This one, I don't know if you could see it, has the die chip that's at the bottom part of this biplane here. All right, so it's in between these two kind of like poles or stakes or whatever you call these on the wing. Don't know the technical term because I'm not an aviation guy, but someone might be able to chime in there. But that is indeed a little die chip. I think people are looking to see if there's a die chip that fills in that whole area right there, which would be pretty neat. But how about $13 for this one, which is, again, a very, very nice amount of money for something that is this small and this minor. Again, if you have a jeweler's loop, that's going to be your best bet in identifying one of these type of die chips. All right, so this is an overperforming sale right here. It's a 2000 Lincoln Memorial cent. It's off-center by about 30%. So, it's got, all the legs in terms of the error. Does have quite a bit of carbon spotting. It is, of course, a copper-coated zinc-in. So that exposed zinc core is shining through on this one. Again, that core is very susceptible to moisture, and it begins to deteriorate over time. So this particular coin right here sold for $45.20. These are common dates for this particular error type, and while it's attractive as far as how far off center it is, the carbon spotting and the zinc rot that's beginning to happen on this one would normally detract me and a few others. The people are very big time sticklers for overall eye appeal. So this one, nice little chunk of cash. I generally see these sell for under $20. All right, well, it's been quite some time since we've seen one of these low high leaf variety Wisconsin quarters. Now, keep in mind, these are only on 2004 Denver minted Wisconsin quarters, and there's a low leaf and a high leaf variant. Now, these were distributed back in the day in the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas region of the U.S. That's even to this day where people are finding these particular varieties. But this one right here is the low leaf. As you can see, the low extra engraved area here, which I firmly believe is intentional on these, by the way. Not an error. It's been a variety for quite some time in the Cherry Picker's Guide. This one sold for $99.99, which is quite a bit of money considering the condition on this one. I've seen a number of other examples sell for less, but I haven't seen too many of these pop up in the marketplace recently. So this might be an anomaly price-wise or value-wise, but they could go higher too. The nicer the condition, the more that they're worth. So here's another example, and probably the OG, I guess, the OG seller that started selling these VDB-V Lincoln Shield scents. So he sold quite a few of these to this point, but these are his photos. As you can tell, he's using a ring light or something like that because there's a lot of glare here. So ideally you want to tone down the lighting so it's not flashing you in the eyes, quite too strongly. Plus, it's also going to give folks an idea of what the condition is. It seems to be there's a lot of dust on the lens of this camera device that was used. But overall, again, a great coin to look out for. That's the close-up provided by this seller, showing that extra V, what appears to be engraved initials, right there at the base of Lincoln's bust. This one sold for just a little bit more, $45. I believe he has it as a buy it now listing with a number of them available. So again, while these are still selling for a lot of money, look out for them. Ask for the Lincoln cents and just go to town. And, $40, $50, $30 or however much these are selling for, you can imagine selling a number of them. If you find, 10 of them, for example, it's $400. So it's not nothing. It's kind of easy money. There's a few things today that you can participate in that is just straight up easy money, where it really requires no educational experience whatsoever in the hobby. You just got to find the things. This is one of them. Now, this one's cool. It's a 1985 P Jefferson nickel double struck with a uniface on that secondary off-center second strike there. So you have pretty much kind of like a full readable date. You can see the 198 on the off-center part and then the 5 on the regular strike and a P mint mark. So that's cool. You have everything you need here on this one. Secondary strikes about 80% off center. Very nice, very attractive coin. This one through 28 bids, man. Very active. $147.99. These are kind of like the crown jewels of the U.S. Mint error world. This one not, though. Quite minor, but still worth a few bucks. 1936 Lincoln Wheat cent with a curved clip on there. This one sold for $7.99. The more clips on a coin, there could be 2, 3 clips, the more that they're going to be worth. So, again, keep that in mind. Here's another nice date of off-center Lincoln Memorial 1968 Denver this time around, showing, again, lots of mint state red, very, very problem-free, very nice coin. This one sold for $36, and I would say it's about 70% off-center. All right, the next undesirable set of photos listing has to be this, what they call a 1988 Lincoln Memorial cent with the Flare G or the reverse of 1989 variety. Now, these were the pictures included. They even went as far to say that it also has an RPM as well. This one does not have an RPM, but it's got a little bit of split plating right there on the mint mark. So again, when you're imaging coins like this, you want to make sure that you have a full obverse and reverse of the coin. Okay, that's going to be very important. The biggest one, of course, is going to be gauging condition. So as long as you have that on there, then you could get away with images like this where you have close-ups. These are usually accompanied by those anyways. So the actual verdict on this one, it did sell for $27.24. And, you know, these are constantly being picked up by variety enthusiasts of Lincoln sets, and these are incredibly popular. Of course, if the condition's really high, they're going to earn themselves a lot more money in the marketplace than, say, ones that are lesser condition. So this one is kind of a mystery. I would have loved to seen a whole image of the front and back of the coin, but again, don't make the mistake as this person did. You probably short yourself out a few extra bucks on the listing part of it. So the next one that we have here is actually a pretty neat little lot. We have a lot of 4 Lincoln cents. There's one Shield cent, that's the 2016. But they're all kind of like off-center by some degree. Plus, you know, they're dates that you don't see too much of, you know, except for the 2001. Those are pretty common, but you have full readable dates. The 2016 is interesting because that one looks like a partial tilted collar on that one. Overall condition, yeah, they're okay. You know, they got a little mint stay red. A few of them have a little bit of carbon spotting, but overall, could this be an area of opportunity where you buy these and then resell them? Possibly. So this 4-coin lot sold for $33.66 with 7 bids. Oh yeah, these are really cool. Really easy to cherry pick some of the mint mark varieties on the 38D Buffalo nickel. There's a couple very, very nice over mint marks, D over S's. I believe they're the 511 and 512 in the cherry picker's guide. But there's also a number of RPMs as well. Quite a few of them, to be honest with you. This one right here is RPM number 2. So you'll see the secondary Denver mint mark punched west of the primary. Very good one. Again, great job by the seller, taking really crisp, clear close-ups, which, by the way, if you have an iPhone, you could do that really easily. There's an app that you could download, a magnifier app, where you could take close-ups that are as nice as this. So this one, $12.99. You could easily pick up a 30AD in a bargain bin for a couple bucks. And if you do cherry pick one of the known varieties, then you're going to do really well reselling these. Oh boy, here we go. Good old X-ray vision Lincoln back again. Again, these were found on 2022s. This particular seller ended up offloading a few of these, all within minutes of each other. So we have this one here. You can see the strike-through anomaly going all the way from the eyes, the eyeballs of Lincoln, all the way to the rim. Excuse me. So very nice, very strong, by the way, but these are common. They're all over the place. This one ended up selling for $17.50. Not a bad coin to be on the lookout for, considering, you know, the quantity of these that are currently on eBay. You could do really well with these. Probably one of my favorites this week. This is really awesome photography, by the way. So the seller alleges that this is a 1999 Denver, and it's pretty close. I don't know how you could really see it. It is struck through a very late stage capped eye, late enough where you could see, you know, some of the original devices from the die that struck through that very thin cap at this point. But yeah, there's probably, if you twisted the coin around a little bit, you could see the date. This one, very strong sale, by the way. We've seen very nice sales on these type of errors. $86.25 with 15 bids. Well, here we go. 2017, the coin that everybody loves because it's got a physical P min mark, the only date within the entire Lincoln cent series with a physical P mid mark, and that's done as a tribute to the 225th anniversary of the Philadelphia Mint. So there you go. That's why it's on there. Normally we see, the die clashes on these. You know, I've highlighted those a number of times on previous PCMRs, but this one here is here for a reason other than a die clash, and that's going to be this long, thin die crack that goes from the rim into the O and of on the reverse, and then all the way to the top right of the shield. So this one right here surprisingly did sell for $8. I would imagine they are all $5 to $10 coins if you're able to find them. I don't see anything as this being anything else other than a die crack. Like, plating blisters are quite common on these compositions, and some would say, oh, that's a plating blister that ruptured. Not this one. This one does look like a die crack, and you would need decent magnification to kind of confirm. Another Buffalo, and boy, this thing has lots of different things happening. We'll get it out of the way. Yeah, it does have a scratch on the obverse, a few scratches as a matter of fact. But this is a 2-feather, on a very scarce date, might I add. This is a 1918S Buffalo nickel. Not a super high-end example. I would say it's probably a VG8. You do have a 50% partial horn on the Buffalo on the reverse. But check that out. It's also got a pretty cool-looking little slim lamination on the reverse as well. So what does something like this go for these days? How about $80? And a lot of that is due to the abraded die 2-feather Buffalo variety on this one. So yeah, look out for these. You can see them and find them on a lot of dates of Buffaloes, and they're worth cherry picking. Boy, the theme for this video is rough and ugly, but still valuable. Someone still pays for these things. Now, this is aside from marginal photography, yes, it's a 1999p Lincoln Memorial Cent, and you guessed it, you probably see it. This is the wide AM reverse. This is the scarcest date of the wide AM out of the 3 that exist from 98 to 2000. So, again, these are pursued because of its variety status. And there's just not a lot of them out in the marketplace today. You can see that wide gap between the A&M and America, which is what you also want to find on here, in addition to the designer initials on the reverse as well. It's going to be a little bit further away from the base of the monument. So $74.95 for this beater of a variety. And, you can't hate the player. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes when there's nothing available on eBay for this variety, you kind of have to settle. And if you're looking for this to fill a need in a collection, you'll just about pay anything. So there you go. Good job by the seller, and I guess congrats to the buyer for even finding one of these on eBay. Well, I haven't talked about one of these in a while, but it's a 2021 Washington crossing the Delaware Crown die chip on good old Mr. Washington on the reverse. I never get tired of looking at these. The die chip is large enough that it fills up the entire hat and goes all the way up into the letters of E Pluribus Unum. This one sold for $50.25. The coin is in great shape, but we've seen these things continue to drop in price. The ones that do pop up are pretty rough condition, or there's just, everybody has these. The people that wanted these right out of the gate got theirs, and then now all the other ones that do come up in the marketplace are going to suffer a little bit because that's just the law of averages, I guess, or the law of supply and demand. Less demand these days, but the supply is up there for the remaining folks that want one. All right, couple cool little cut die breaks. We have this undated Washington quarter. Check out the date area. Probably post 1980. It does have a physical mint mark. It's a P minted coin. Pretty nice sized. We see a few different variants of this particular cut die break. Again, a piece of the die had cracked and fallen out, and that's why it produces this large kind of like raised blob anomaly on the coin. And a cut, by the way, goes from the rim into the design, and that's how you want to use that terminology for your eBay listings. This one right here sold for $80.25. So again, that's the expected value of this particular cut. Another big one here, I believe from the same seller, a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent with a pretty sizable cut die break at the base of Lincoln's bust. So no mistaking this, you have that weakness on the reverse in that same area as well. This one sold, again, for $80.25. All right, so if you guys are looking to make some quick cash, like easy, quick, reliable cash, and I'm telling you guys this right now, strike while the iron's hot. Brand new bank boxes of 2023 Lincoln Cents are still selling for a great amount of money. Whatever your beliefs are on these coins, if you don't like them because they're just way too new and they don't interest you any, all right, make some money in the process. So a full box sold for $116. So there you go. Pretty nice. By the time you deal with shipping and fees, the net profit on this one's going to be about $65. That's pretty good, earning yourself $60, $70 for every $25 that you do spend. That's like highway robbery almost. It's easy pickings. All right, we got 2020 Lincoln Shield Cent. What do we got going on with this one? This one's actually neat. If you thought that 2017 P Die Clash Lincoln is pretty good, this one's pretty nice. Not quite on the same level, but Die Clash wise, you could see Pluribus Unum clashed in Lincoln's coat, and also there next to the date. Other clashes as well. If you look up toward Lincoln's mouth and nose, you can see more clashing there of the lines in the shield. So, and a little bit of a strike through right there. I just noticed that right there on the back of the neck. So, where did this one end up at? This one was a $14.99 sale. Not the best looking example, but again, I wouldn't turn my head away to any of these. Another big die clash, more noticeable on the reverse. This time on 1983 Lincoln Memorial. You can actually see the clashing of Lincoln's head right here. That goes into 1 cent, very strong. You got a little bit of clashing here on the obverse, but a lot of the kind of like this wrinkly plating issues that this coin has, will kind of detract from the overall beauty of this coin. This one sold for $40.75. Pretty surprising amount of money. And again, if you find them and you don't want them, just turn them loose, and reap the rewards. That's the name of the game with the PCMR. Okay, so I've been looking after this lot for a few days now. It's a lot of 18 miscellaneous Lincoln cents that are all off center. None of them have readable dates. I'll say that. There are a few of the Zinken composition, but for the most part, a lot of them, probably about 80% of them, are the bronze. And that's notable, because even if they have no readable date, the bronze off-center struck coins sell traditionally for between $20 and $25. So this one, I was talking to someone, and I'm like, if this one sells for under $200, this is going to be a good flip. And sure enough, it did. It sold for $182.50. I forgot to write the bid count on this one, but there's probably maybe 15 or 20 bids on there. This is a great buy. You could take these, flip them, sell them individually, do a buy it now on them, and probably like 2.5 times your money on it. So yeah, really well done by the buyer and then the seller. They did really well selling a group of these. So pretty good. All right, we're going to kind of end things off. The last few coins are just amazing. How about 1989 P Roosevelt dime? This thing is broad struck to no end. It's huge. The seller even said that it's about the size of a nickel. It's that big. So no collar during the striking process, which means that metal flow goes outwards with till the strike is complete. This one sold for $84.78. Coin's in nice condition, by the way. Here's a Zinken with a off-center indent. So there were 2 planchets that were overlapping during the strike, causing this. All right, so the coin, again, is about the size of a nickel. But that's why you have that blank area on there, is because that's another blank planchet overlapped. So this one sold for $84.78 as well. So I believe this is from the same seller as the previous coin. We also have another very small, very innocent looking Cud die break, this time on a large date 1982 bronze. You can see the Cud there at the base of Lincoln's bust. No real evident weakness on the reverse, okay, which, depending on the size of the Cud, you won't have that weakness. Great looking coin, no condition issues, no carbon spotting, and this one sold for $28.87 with 5 bids. And the final coin is going to be the hot garbage beater coin of the day. If you were looking at the back of the coin when you first picked this thing up and not flip it over, you would toss this thing aside, man. You would either put this in your change jar or you would throw it back out in the ground to be buried. So this is indeed the same coin. 1967 Lincoln Memorial Cent with a massive Cud die break over the words, we trust on there. And you do have the weakness on the reverse. It's kind of hard to even believe that this is the same coin because the obverse looks pretty nice. The reverse, not so much. Maybe it was stuck in some caramelized Coca-Cola or something. I really don't know. But it's you would think that, this thing's not going to sell for anything. And it sure did. Someone did pay $41 for this coin with 2 bids, proving yet again, I sound like a broken record every time I say this, condition don't matter. People will pay for what they need. And this is a Cud die break that we don't see too often. And, the seller might try and do something with that reverse, maybe dip it or whatever. Wish them the best. Me personally, you just got to keep it the way it is. Don't play with it too much because you don't want it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to stop there. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it, man. Just a lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff that you can find out there in circulation today. So I would take advantage of that. And hopefully this video gave you a little inspiration to do just that. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thanking you guys again for tuning in on another amazing PCMR. Come check me out this Friday on Whatnot for the Around the Globe auction. Again, the links are going to be down below in the description box and in the pin to the comments section. That's it. I got nothing else for you. You guys go out there, do some hunting, and find yourself some of the good stuff like I have been. And other people, because it's awesome. All right, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.